Amazing facts about queen bee, mating time and breeding of new bees. The queen bee has the biggest size in any beehive. Her size is about 5 times the size of an ordinary worker bee, and she is the commander-in-chief of the hive in which she lives. Only one queen can be found in a hive at any given time. And she has no deputy. If 2 or more queens should meet in the same hive, they will engage in a fight of survival, killing one another until only one, the strongest, eventually emerges as the victor and the reigning queen. By the natural culture of the bees, the queen neither mates inside her own hive nor is mated by the drones from the same hive. Queen bee's mating time. When it is time for the queen bee to mate, she produces a glandular secretion with which she sends out a powerful pheromone into the air to alert the drones in other hives that she is ready for mating. A meeting is then arranged by the worker bees, between her and some interested drones, to meet and mate. And the mating is done in the air. Breeding new bees. To breed new bees, the queen bee lays unfertilized eggs in the larger chambers of the bee comb while she lays fertilized ones in the small chambers of the comb. The eggs in the larger chambers are meant for the production of the drones, while those in the smaller chambers are meant for the production of the workers. This is because the drones are naturally bigger in size than the workers. Both chambers are expertly designed in the honeycomb by the worker bees for the purpose of breeding. One of the mysteries of the beehives is the building of the honeycomb by the worker bees. Apiarists know that the bees use wax to build honeycomb, but they are still puzzled by the natural skill with which those tiny insects do it. An attempt by researchers to manufacture similar honeycomb as a means of assisting the bees in reducing their workload has proved abortive, as the bees have shunned the use of such artificial comb as the store for the honey they produce. Honeycomb is a mass of hexagonal cells built by the honeybees in their nest to contain their larvae and store honey as well as pollen. Features of the queen bee. The queen bee lays an average of about 2,000 eggs per day. And she lives about 40 times longer than those other bees because of the exclusive diet of royal jelly which she takes every day. The average lifespan of an ordinary bee is 6 weeks. That of the queen bee is 2.5 years, but she can live for as long as 6 years depending on the conduciveness of her royal environment. Succession bid. When the queen bee becomes old or weak and she can no longer lay enough eggs, of between 1,500 and 2,000 per day, with which to sustain the population of the hive, the kingmakers in the hive meet and decide to depose her by jointly stinging her to death. Then, she is replaced with a new, vibrant queen. Queen's mating feature. The queen bee mates with about 6 to 8 drones, only once in a lifetime. This is done over a period of 2 to 7 days. And to mate, the queen must fly to at least a height of 20 meters in the air. This is to maintain royal privacy and avoid unnecessary disturbance. There are about 20,000 species of bees in the world. But the most prominent ones in relation to human life are 7. These are bumblebees, carpenter bees, honey bees, killer bees, ground bees and yellow jacket bees. Some worker bees are stingless. But generally, the world of bees is a wonderful one. It takes those who know it to appreciate its value. Without bees, there will neither be crops nor farmers. For more research-based home remedies and natural health tips, subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook at Natural Herb Cures and Twitter at Natural Herb Cure.